How's everybody doing? How we doing out there? All right. So, it's Sunday, it's Halloween. Is everybody having a good Halloween? All right. So, yeah. Got launched the thing monitoring this whole new world Facebook ads active campaign, and my target market is, I'm sort of like the, we got my, should we make it disappear? Shall we make it disappear? Let's see if we can make this disappear. Oh, the magic of chroma key. Are we doing it? Let's see. How is that? Making some things disappear. Oh, is that cool or what? Brings it down a little bit. Yeah, so you have to know when to you have to know when you're in the wrong market or anything. So they're coming in, and like expected in the law of dammits, right? It's called the law of dammits. People aren't opening their emails. It's just the way it is. So you have to have just like tremendous firepower. Just a tremendous amount of just ridiculous firepower and get in there. And so we're gonna take a look at the competition. All right, we're gonna do it war room style. We're gonna take a look at the competition, and so I don't know if I can. We're gonna go full. We're gonna go full, baby. We're gonna go full metal. All right. So if we go here somewhere, see, the hamburger turned into a, what do you call that, Rubik cube? So if we go to the saved, right? So I saved a bunch of like courses, and so I want to play them, but I don't want to play the music. All right, so I'm just gonna play the. All right, so discover the serenity. Okay, painting birds in oil. Okay, now watch. This is what we don't do. And this is not, we don't draw on the canvas. If you're a cartoonist, you cartoon. If you're a painter, you paint. We don't draw on the canvas. All right? And so we, for the last 100 years or so, have been X-raying canvases. And there were some artists like Rembrandt, Caravaggio, Velázquez, even Da Vinci, even though he was a prolific drawer, we could see that many times, and Vermeer, many times they went straightly, directly to canvas. And so this ridiculous art world that irritates me to no end developed this story that these were the grand poobahs of creativity and Velázquez. You know how they, like when they talk about Van Gogh, and these guys are like, Van Gogh, yeah, Vincent Van Gogh, and Bach, these goofballs. Vincent Van Gogh and Bach, and shut up with your crap. Jesus. Anyway, so these pretentious, goofballs came up with this narrative that these certain artists were so great, they just walked to the canvas and they just knew exactly where to go and they knew exactly what to do, and they were just these Jesus Christ figures of art because we saw no underdrawings. All right, we're going to talk about that later, but how to I learned how to shoot from the hip. All right. So no underdrawing. All right, now let's watch. Okay, you see that? You see her stepping back? That is the typical way that you sight size. You stand back, you squint your eyes, and you're moving back and forth to the canvas. When you're in plein air, right, painting plein air, you're moving back from the canvas, squinting your eyes, getting a read on the tonal values. All right. So, okay. What's the problem? And you see she's painting in color. And do you see she's doing a tonal, a pentatonic scale? Like we know how to do. Okay, let's, I gotta come back here and I gotta go there. Okay, so let me see if I can do this. Wait, we're gonna go full again. Okay, so I think I've got a tool. Oh, here's the tool. Come on, G Money. This is the tool, right? Oh, ruining all my fun. There it is. There it is. All right. All right. So, I think I go like that. Okay, you see this here? Oh, we're living so large, people. So, this is a tonal pentatonic scale that every artist from Da Vinci to Rembrandt to Vermeer to the Caravaggio to Jacques-Louis David, you name a realist painter, and this is how he set up his palette. And let's see if we could see another okay. What's this? Let's see what happens if we open up. Does that come back? Excuse me. Sorry to be such a... Okay, so that doesn't come. It erases it. Just learning the tool. I'll be right with you. All right, so let's see if we can see that pentatonic scale somewhere else. Oh, do you see it there? Do you see it there? Do you see it there? Your lightest lights, your darkest darks, your mid, your lower mid, and your upper mid. So let's take a look. Full frame. We'll go full. Bye-bye. And so we're gonna get out of a thing. And so there's the mid, darkest of darks, lightest light, and she is doing that for every tone in her palette. What's the problem with that? There's no problem whatsoever. All right? It just takes a lot of work if you're dealing in color. This is a 3D move. Okay? So once you got this 3D thing down, then you can go into color. That's why we're going monochrome. We're either going to, because I'm assuming, like, you don't know, you've never painted before. I'm assuming you're an executive, you're a working mom, you're a working dad, you're somebody who loves art, who has a passion for art, but doesn't have a lot of time, okay? And so you don't have the time to be walking back in front of the canvas like that. You don't have the space, maybe, to have this big... You see how small? Look. Oh, this is just... You see how small? So she's got her bird there, and this is, you know, this is the classical way to approach the canvas, but we're following the old masters and we're leveraging the technology, and this is why we're so cool. We're going to be making all the same moves, but we're going to be doing in the comfort of our desktop atelier and using the computer, the power of the computer, So instead of walking back like this, back and forth, we're just gonna zoom in and out with PowerPoint. Come on, is that cool or what? All right. So that's what makes this course different. So let's see if I can get irritated any some more. let's jam this in. Okay, so there. So now, all right. So she's now coloring. She's got a coloring book. She's coloring in. You bring them to life on canvas, and I'm sure she's look lovely paintings. I'm not trying to diss Sarah here, you know. Find this course on Domestica and guarantee it'll be like $19. All right. But if you don't have the room, if you don't have the time, this course is going to be useless to you. You won't be able to explore the world of tonal painting like the great masters, the old masters. They weren't just artists that had nothing better to do. They were at the top of the game. They were more like Elon Musk and Steve Jobs than Vincent van Gogh and Picasso, who were drinking and getting drunk all the time. All right, so let's look, pause, another. Okay, so this is gonna be fun. All right, these guys, what's going on here? Bring down the sound. Okay, so hi, I'm this artist, New Artist Academy. This is what I do. Okay, so now another coloring book aficionado. We shoot from the hip. Okay, we're gunslingers. We shoot from the hip. We use a grid, but the grid is just to help us with location, to secure the perimeter. Once we've secured the perimeter, it's all shooting from the hip, and we just go. We let go. So here's another coloring book aficionado, and the entire world, the entire YouTube world is filled with the coloring book people. Okay, now, there were some, especially in the north, who would create an underdrawing, then glaze that underdrawing, and then fill in the underdrawing like a coloring book. Nice. Okay, so now she's talking about how not only are they going to teach you how to paint, but she's going to teach you how to see. And so this is the foundation of all realistic painting courses, teaches how to see. Now, here we are. Okay, this just confuses me. Here we are, 2021. We're talking about going to Mars finally. And she's using strings to measure. Okay, look at it. And she's got. Okay, now, did you see her walk? That's classic sight sizing. So now she's not sight sized because the canvas is now up in her face. She has to move back 10 feet so now the canvas gets smaller and then the face gets bigger because she's now positioned in the correct position. Watch that again, okay? There she is, and she walks back like that forever. And if you have a studio, right, if you're not saying a studio and you paint for a couple of years, there's going to be a slight groove in your floor or in your rug or whatever. And this is the method that I was taught, and this is the sight sizing method. But we don't do that. We sight and we don't use the string to measure. You know what we use to measure? This. You see, or did it get we use measuring tape? It's unbelievable. Okay, so now she's sight sizing it. And then she's gonna make a coloring book, right? All right, and then she's gonna walk back. Now she's in a, so first They make a drawing on their canvas, and they make a drawing on their painting. Well, why not make a painting on your drawing? Well, that's what they're gonna do. Coloring book time. Coloring book time. Let's see. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? I don't know. Let's bring up. Oh, I don't have it up. Sorry about that. Let's bring up our girl, my girlfriend. So let's see. Okay, so now, guess what? Here. Let me see. Look. Oh, I don't have to move back and forth. I don't have to move back and forth and dig a ditch into my wood floor, my rug. I can size from here, baby. Come on. All right. There we go. Does that look size to you? Come on. So, you understand how cool we are, right? And what we're doing? And we're leveraging technology just like the old masters did back in their day, all right? So, let's get back to the show. Let's go back to the show. I'm sorry, I'm not so. Should be more. Sorry. Just not this quick. All right, so let's get back to the show. All right, yeah, she's using an eraser. And then, oh gosh, she's really one of them. Let's take a look again. Look, okay, we don't, you see that? Paint everywhere. We don't roll like that, man. We don't roll. And then the art world, this is considered, oh, I'm an artist and I'm free. I'm free. Come on. Come on. Does your kitchen look like that? You know, if you walk onto a job site and you see a job site that looks like that, you know, that's not being demoed, you see it, you're like, okay, guys, have fun. And so, yes. Okay, so now she is also, there you go. Does it look familiar? Another pentatonic scale, and if you, okay, now squint your eyes and you see the brown tones. Okay, I'm pointing at the stupid screen like you can see me. I don't get out my tool, baby. Okay, so these in Home Painting Land, they number these, and the right way to number. So there are some goofballs who number differently. All right, 3, 4, 5. She's got 6, so this is like 5, 7-ish, 3-ish, and that's how you number. Some people have it reversed, like white is 1 and black is 10. No. If you have a fader on your light, you turn it up to get the light. If you have a knob on your audio thing, you turn it up to get the sound. So now she's now about to go. She's laid in the tones, and now she's gonna replace those tones. Instead of the blue, like, I just don't understand why they paint like people paint like this. Okay, so she's now relating. So if you squint your eyes, right? So this, instead of this being a blue 4 or 5 value, it's a brown 4 or 5 value. Okay, you see that? So if you squint your eyes, you can see the different value placements turn into like one. As you move the light out of your eye, the color goes with the light. Okay, get it? Understand what she's doing? And so now she's going to fill in all of the skin tone with the burnt umber. All right. So that's ongoing. And yeah, and so she's got like all these brushes, and then she talks about, and we teach you to mix your own medium. Why would you want to mix your own medium? I don't understand. Rembrandt didn't mix his own medium. Velasquez didn't mix their own medium. They all had interns or proteges or whatever, because these guys were like at the top echelon of their field. So I don't know what the thing is, but it's like some great thing to learn to mix your own medium. All right. But it's a great video, professional video, and she's a very good artist. She gets it done. She gets it done, but she doesn't get it done as quickly and as efficiently as we do, people. Come on. Right, so there's the same thing, And you see, just, oh God. This is turning out to be a better expose than I thought. Okay, do you see her measuring like that? No. I'm gonna show you how we measure. Okay? I'm gonna show you how we measure. Watch how we measure. Okay, hook and go. Hook and go. And what does that relate to? That relates to the measurements here. Can you see that's all stock. That grid is stock. It comes with the PowerPoint, people. So we've got a question like, where does that mole go, right? On Maryland. The question is, where does that go? Well, we can measure. We don't have to go with the string, with our hands shaking with the string. Yeah, okay, that's what they did in the past. But the more you're sitting there shaking with your hand with the string, the less time you painting. And then when you're putting paint to canvas, right? And you're choosing the brush and you're choosing the tone. That's the essence of the craft. That's the hard part. Sitting there with a string, anybody can, learn how to do. It's not that hard. 500 years of this and you don't got a different move? Come on, people. Jeez. All right, I'm having a blast here. Okay, so let's get back. I gotta get back to Jack. Do it again. Bye. All right. All right, so let's continue. There she is, squinting one eye. Yeah, the sight size. Oh, and this is no disrespect to Amy. She gets the job done. She's a fantastic painter. She's creating beautiful portraits, but she's doing it about 10 times the time that we do. All right? We know what's happening because we are emulating the greatest of all time. They were executives. We're the executives of our estate. They were the executives of their estate, right? We're busy people. They were busy people. And so they got it done using the technology of their day. We're going to get it done using the technology of our day. Okay? And so this is one last thing I want to show you. All right. So this is still the same. The people who produced this is crazy. The people who produced that video, which is a very well produced video. It was definitely professionally produced. I like the slow pan in the beginning there. So this is the same. These guys. Here's a JPEG that's probably 5 megabytes, right? And this is supposed to be something you're supposed to aspire to, you know. Here's all these students, and they're coming to class, and they got all these massive wood easels. And sure, you know, if you've got the time, you know, why not? But this is like the most confusing website. What is this? Leading art schools and entertainment studios learn here. What does that mean? I don't know. This is the same people who made that awesome video. And so we've got a bunch of stuff there, you know. Okay. Oh, so these are where the instructors come from. So they have tons of 1,500 hours of courses. So they've got all of these courses that, you know, you can learn from. Steve Hudson, Warner Brothers, right? So people from Warner Brothers are going to teach you, blah, 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 blah. All right. And so there's something else I wanted to show you. What has this? Do we get to see it in the? Do we get to see it in the? Okay. Oh well, forget it. What else? Okay, I want to show you. We can get out of here. We can come here and turn on the music just a little bit. And where do we want to go? We want to be here. And then we want to be. Oops. We want to be here. All right. So, look at that. How pretty. How pretty. All right. Slide. Slide. So, that's. All right. In the window. Okay, so I think, can I go here? Upon? Yeah, but I gotta get rid of Marilyn. Bye, Marilyn. In fun. There we go. Cooking with gas. All right, so we're gonna go through, right? What makes this different? All right, we keep it simple, people. We keep it. If you want to make it impressive, make it complicated. I mean, I don't want to be disparaging against those artists, but this is the general sort of thing that everybody does. They make it complicated with the string and you know. If you want to make it be impressive, be complicated. If you want to get these done, you keep it simple. And that's what we're all about. And so, right, you've got Jewish people have Jerusalem, Christians at the Vatican. What does the artist have? Paris, baby. The artist has Paris. That's right. Eiffel Tower, Facebook Live just before COVID. 2 at one time. Plein air, sure, why not? Point Marie, Notre Dame, Point Nuke. Exhibitions, you have to. What's the point? Shift happens. There's a shift going on. Exhibitions like the greatest of all time, 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 like the greatest of all time. Been there, done that, got a frickin' t-shirt, man. And so we're not gonna go to the secret. We're gonna go to the fact that we're gonna go see the Mona Lisa. What do you say? Mona Lisa, yeah. Right, this about 3 presentations ago, it didn't work out. So let's see if we can get music blazing a little bit. And so our Louvre inspired method is goes deep, right? art history, scientific fact. And yes, I took that picture. I know. Thank you. Thank you. I took that picture, and I suck at taking good pictures on my camera, so I'm part of that. So we're gonna go to the Louvre, right? And we're gonna go see the Mona Lisa. It's in the Denon wing, and it's kind of bizarre. It's like you're in the basement. You got to go up this spiral staircase. So we go. Follow the signs. Mona Lisa over there. Mona Lisa over there. Everywhere. Mona Lisa. Follow the crowd. And then we get up the spiral staircase, and it's the Galerie des Roues, which is very cool. It's a hall of Roman statues from the Roman Empire. We're going all the way down that hall there. Look at this, the most awesome sculpture in this series. We keep follow the green dot, and at the top of those stairs is the winged victory of Samothrace, right? It's the Nike, the goddess Nike. Yes, the same Nike that the shoe brand comes from. There's the original sort of inspiration. And it's there. You are there. My picture again. Thank you very much. Not too bad. And so that's from the Hellenistic period about 300 BC. That hall, the Roman Empire Hall, is about 300 AD. So there's about 600 years of art history right there. And now we're going to take a quick move. We're going to get out of room 709, I believe that was. And we're there, right? So we're right there. We're going to hightail right, then a left. And now we're in Gallery 709. And this is sort of the Middle Ages of Rome. And it's called Salle de la 7 meters. I guess it's 7 meters tall or whatever. Anyways, it's with art from the 13th to 1400s. It's about 1,000 years after that. So we skip over the Dark Ages, right? And so now we're right at the time of the bubonic plague, the great cathedrals, Notre Dame, all these Gothic cathedrals were built right around this time, right? And so we have the beginnings of the printing press. Protestant Reformation is starting to spread its wings, so the Inquisition isn't far off. So it's a time, just the beginnings of this cataclysmic change of the Renaissance coming. And so here's this most scary photo of it. I tried to go live, it was a complete disaster. The internet is only in the basement anyway. So in this room, it's filled with the scary baby Jesus. And of course, Joe Pesci Jesus. And what am I trying to say? Here from this room is the medieval room, 1300s to 1400s. You go through that door, and that door is the most important, most historically relevant journey you can take probably in any museum anywhere. So we're going to go through from room 709 to 710, which is the Grand Gallery, right? So just so you kind of get the idea, we're going to hightail it, hang Ralph. There we are, all right? We're heading towards the Mona Lisa, which is right to our right there. So now we're in the Grand Gallery, all right? We came out of the scary baby Jesus room, the bubonic plague, gargoyle, eyes wide shut era, right? Now we're moving towards the Renaissance, the 1500s. Over there is the Mona Lisa in that door, and let's see. Oops, sorry. And now, what do we have in this room? The most amazing paintings. Boom, Raphael, baby. 3D realism in your face. That's not a statue, that's a painting. That's not marquetry and gold inlay. That is oil on wood panel. And so we're talking about Jesus, right? So what else do we got? We've got an actual emotion, a human being, the sweat, blood, and tears of the passion. No scary, weird, abstract, alien infant. A real human being, looking like a real human being. So it gives you a sense of empathy and a sense of compassion. And then next is probably the most radical painting of all, right? The Madonna and the Green Cushion. All right. So now gone is the story of the God, the man God that came to earth to rule over the sins of humanity, original sin, and to save man because he's such a horrific nightmare of a life form. This is tenderness. It's Madonna and child, mother and child. And this was a revolution. This took a story that was 1,000 years old, that was weaponized, and says, we'll take your story, we'll take your baby Jesus story, all right, but we're not going to put him as the King of Kings coming here to kick butt over the sinners of earth. He's coming to earth just like written in the Bible. He's coming to earth like a baby. And this was like, whoa. So the fear of the previous storyline, that was the previous stories on canvas, was erased. There's not fear here. You don't get, there's not an intellectual process. It's not abstract. This goes directly into the eye, past the limbic brain, right down through the optic nerve, and to the fusiform gyrus, which is the point that perceives human faces. We'll talk about that in a second. 1370s, 1500s. Okay, so that's 100 years. It's a blinking of the eye. What the heck is going on? All right, so now let's hang a Ralph. We go see the Mona Lisa, Salle de la Joconde, 7-Eleven, and yes, the worst picture of the Mona Lisa ever taken. That was taken by me. I'm not signing that one. But in this room, that's the smallest picture in the room. So what do we see? More abstract painting like we saw in the Middle Ages? No, we see the grandeur, the drama. This looks like a scene from The Sopranos or Scorsese film. The storytelling and the sensuality of Titian, and look at that skin and the interplay between the man and the woman. First time in history, aliens can create pyramids and crop circles. Us human beings of the Renaissance, we create beauty. Unheard of, not on Earth, but I argue in the freaking universe. All right. So once again, Salle de la Setmet, 1400s, scary baby Jesus, Danny DeVito Jesus, Joe Pesci Jesus, Christopher Walken Jesus. We walk through that threshold, which represents about 50 to 100 years, and we come to the Grand Gallery, the most iconic, heart-moving paintings of all time, and it happened in the blink of an eye. And so the experts would tell you, well, one day everybody just figured out how to paint. Wrong. Wait, where's my wrong? Wrong. First secret, don't be stupid. So David Hockney, the year 2000, took the same journey we just took at the Louvre, but he did it on his wall. He put a bunch of paintings from the Middle Ages through the Renaissance to the Enlightenment, and he asked the question, what's going on, man? And he put a date to it. He says 1450. Before 1450, nobody knew how to paint. After 1450, everybody knew how to paint. So he wrote this book called Rediscovering the Lost Techniques of the Old Masters, got a bunch of experts, and they began to, what's with this date? What's going on here? And so that date, 1450, represents that threshold, represents that doorway. That doorway represents 1450 in the in Western art history and in just Western world history. There it is. There's the scary baby Jesus, and there's the Mona Lisa. You see what I'm saying? All right. What the heck is going on, man? So he got a bunch of experts together, and they began talking. They figured out that major advancements in technology flourished during the Renaissance. It was like we began to grind glass with precisions. Curved mirrors that could burn stuff and project an image were everywhere. And we see the beginnings of the microscope and the telescope start to have their appearance during this time. And so they could see distortions in the greatest painters of all time. They could see, and they reversed engineered. And they began to say, okay, well, if this distortion, so optical experts will say, if this distortion is here, well, then that means if we do the calculations, it was done with a 5-inch mirror. Or it was projected with a camera obscura and this size lens. So camera obscures and curved mirrors began to proliferate through the north, through the northern territories of Europe and through the south. Right? And so out of this book comes the Hockney Falco Thesis. Charles Falco being a physicist, David Hockney being an artist, and the thesis is advances in realism since the Renaissance were the result of optical instruments such as the camera obscura and curved mirrors rather than the development of skill or artistic technique. That's right. And the art world went mental. They went mental because this BS, this bullcrap narrative of the art, the spirit of the art god came into Da Vinci, into Michelangelo, and Raphael, and Velasquez, and all of a sudden they knew exactly where to pay gunsling. I keep hitting my camera. The correct tone in the correct place, all right? And so, I get this all the time. Are you telling me that Diego Velasquez cheated? He cheated when he created some of the greatest artworks of all time? Are you trying to say the greatest of all time is cheated with optical devices? And what we say is, duh. Of course they use the latest in technology. And so here's an article 20 years after that book came out that says, study reveals that David Hockney's theory that Velasquez used the camera obscura to paint Las Minas, which is considered one of the greatest canvases of all time, the greatest paintings, portrait paintings of all time. Yeah, he used a camera obscura. So Diego Velasquez was a member of the royal court of the King Philip IV of Spain, and at that time Spain was like one of those superpowers of the world. Velasquez went on diplomatic missions to unite Spain with the Holy Roman Empire. He was on the cutting edge of everything. So, of course, why would he reject the latest advancements when it comes to painting? It's like being an accountant, and all of a sudden you have a Excel spreadsheet. It's like, no. I'm working for Donald Trump. I'm working for Elon Musk. I'm not going to use the Excel spreadsheet. I'm going to do everything by hand. It's absurd. Completely absurd. Art, and then that whole thing, like art, realistic art is irrelevant because realistic art was replaced by the camera. No. Realistic artists weren't replaced by the camera. Realistic artists were the camera. All right. So we're gonna talk about modern art. There's supposed to be an evolution. It's supposed to be an evolution of realistic art. Really? Okay. So here's 1938, right? Picasso, Woman with Child, right after Les Demoiselles d'Avignon. Ooh, Picasso. Oh, look, it's a woman and child. They both have lipstick. What does that mean? Is it scary? It's flat. It's ugly. Wow, I'm thinking about it. I'm using my brain. I'm thinking. And Picasso, he wasn't the greatest of all time. He's an ugly man. He's a small man. He's a hairy man. He got hairy boobies. He ain't the greatest of all time. he can't like a sissy. He don't know how to paint. He ain't the greatest of all time. And so this is what when you have something that's abstract, you can put any story to it. So with a lot of abstract art, they say, well, maybe this is an expression of equality. Maybe it's ugly because it represents how women are subjugated and oppressed by motherhood. Chained to the baby, chained to the house, housewives. It's a story of equality and oppression, right? Because it's abstract, you can put any story you want. So is it in a story of equality? Yes, it's a story of equality. This equals this. That medieval, flat, ugly, scary thing that with the gargoyles and the eyes wide shut business is the same exact painting that Picasso's doing, 500 years later. It's not an evolution. My point is, it's not an evolution. It's a revival. Modern art is revival of the ugly, flat stuff they used to do in the Middle Ages, and this is the revolution. This is the revolution. This approaches the body in a way that's different than abstract art. The modern art on the left and the medieval art on the right are both abstractions of reality. The one in the middle is using tone to create a 3D image. And when you're looking at a face, we found out in 2011 that a certain part of your brain lights up when it sees a face. Like we're designed biologically to see a face, all right? And so Rembrandt said painting is the grandchild of nature, it's related to God. And so you could say it's nature, God, science, it's all kind of like the same thing. And so the ugly truth is the science of appearances states that the eye has 120 million rods that see tone and only 5 that see color. So what are we all worried about color for? What's with this obsession with color? When 96% of the eye is devoted to see tone. And so that's where we focus, is tone. So the rod is God because the cone don't see tone. All right? So that's where our focus will be. And the science of appearances, right? Let's say you pick one color, fuchsia, and you create a pentatonic scale, a tonal scale. You could paint anything realistically with just one tone, and people will know what you're talking about. That you can't do that with color. You can't make the same. If you have the tones in the wrong place, nobody will know what it is you're trying to do. And also, like I said before, face recognition is so important to humans that the brain has an area solely devoted to it called the fusiform gyrus, which receives increased blood flow and becomes active when faces are looked at. It's true. And that means a well-painted portrait has power. It's a scientific fact. All right? So yes, the modern art of today equals the medieval, flat, ugly art of the past. It's a revival. It's not an evolution. It's not an evolution of an art form. It's a revival of the ugliness. This is the revolution. This is the evolution. This is the thing that the aliens can't do. And this is the thing that we do. And we understand how important well-painted portraits, well-crafted portraits are to our history, because they affect our human biology in a unique way, right? Through tone and through facial recognition. So, you've been busted. You've been busted. You can't fool me. So, Renaissance realists were more like Steve Jobs or Elon Musk than the typical artists of today. They worked with the most wealthy and powerful people in the world, took huge risks, and enthusiastically embraced advancements in the science and industry of their time. So, you want to paint like this? Or you want to paint like this? All right? And that is what makes our thing so cool. We're not peasants. We're not going to mix our own medium. We're not going to walk back and forth and use string to measure. We're going to use a virtual atelier, just like we're going to use cutting edge tech today, just like the old masters did in their day. And that's the end of the show. All right, well, that was really great to get off of my chest. All right, had that in there. So now I have a product to launch. I gotta get into. So I've been into presentation mode. Now it's time to get into product creation mode. I've got painting to do. And so the crazy thing is, I've been taking all these videos. It's really easy to transfer these live videos down to throw them in Dropbox. And then I tail them up to YouTube. And YouTube, they have all these sharing things. So I got all these accounts in Tokyo and in Japan and Korea, Russia, all over the world. So it's a lot of fun. All right, guys, come here. You know what's up? I will talk to you later. Let's rock.